You're watching Tim's Tiny Arcade, mother effer.
Hey guys, Tim from Tim's Tiny Arcade. Today I want to go look for some games. I'm going to go to one of my local stores near me. It's called Disc Replay. Maybe video a little bit to show you guys what they got in there. I've bought a lot of Atari games over the years in there, so looking for Atari games, NES games maybe to fill out the collection. So guys, let's get ready to go and see if we can find some games. Hey guys, I just got back from Disc Replay and I got a pretty good score of Atari 2600 games, and I got one NES game that I ended up picking up in there. So I want to show you guys that, but I just want to give a thumbs up to Disc Replay. They've got so many games in there, it's just amazing. I actually stopped in at GameStop afterwards. I hadn't been in GameStop in forever. And at least my GameStop, they had hardly any games. I got more games in my game room than GameStop has right now. It's just more figures than anything else. So love that I have a store that sells retro games, everything from the Atari 2600 all the way up to modern consoles. So let's take a look exactly what I end up picking up today. Okay guys, the first game I ended up picking up from Disc Replay was Star Trek.
Star Trek, the game. A game so challenging, you need this combat control panel to play it. Launch photons, fire your phasers, engage warp speed, blast Klingons and alien saucers on your way to the ultimate enemy, Nomad. Is it the most challenging game in the galaxy?
It's inhuman.
Star Trek from Sega.
So yeah, this one's a super fun game. I played Atari Tournament, but I played it on my Minicade that has Atari ROMs on it. So awesome to have this added in my collection. Like I say, this one's in great shape. This game was made by Sega, as you can see. Okay guys, so the next game I ended up finding at Disc Replay was Bally Midway's Tapper. So this game's done very much like the arcade version. It has several different levels, as you will see in this video. This part right here is like one of my favorites, where he like shakes up the different cans and you got to choose which one. Right now this is just playing on demo mode, but yeah, and you get like bonus points if you find the right one, but if you don't, you get like right there, you get sprayed in the face. This was also really popular and still one of my favorite games in the arcade, and it used to be the Budweiser Tapper, and then they ended up changing it to Root Beer Tapper in the arcades. But for being an Atari 2600 game, I really do enjoy playing this. I played in an Atari 2600 tournament off a Facebook group of this game and really dug into playing this game. Like I said, I always liked the arcade version, and just here in the last year was the first time I played the Atari 26 version. All right, so the next game I found was Exonic's Artillery Duel, and Chuck Norris.
Know how to get two great video games for the price of one? With the Sonic Double Ender cartridge. On one end, Chuck Norris super kicks. Armed with bare hands and feet, battle ninja warriors in search of the ancient monastery. Flip Double Ender over and play Artillery Duel. You're in command of an artillery battle. Set barrel angle, set firepower. Compensate for wind, fire. Game console obtained separately. Should be connected by adult. The Sonic's Double Ender cartridge. Twice the fun for the price of one. $5 rebate at participating stores.
So these are really unique cartridges, really big, being the Double Ender. I never owned one of these when I was a kid. Ended up getting this one for $11.99, which I thought was a pretty decent price for basically getting 2 games. So, and this one's like I said, in excellent condition. I do own another one of these cartridges, and I had forgotten that you have to actually put this thing in facing away from you, so it took me a minute to get into the system. Kind of interesting that you don't face the label to you, but that's just the way they made them. So anyway, I thought that was a pretty good find. All right, so then the next game I ended up finding that I didn't have in my collection was Mr. Do. All right, so finding this game, this is the second time I found this game. The first one I ended up finding, Mr. Do. I owned it, but I could never get the cartridge to work. I cleaned it. Usually I have pretty good luck just cleaning the cartridges, and they end up working just by getting the dirt, from the 30, 40 years they've been sitting around or whatever. But yeah, this is like a dig dug kind of game, and I like this one. I have a relative lives in Texas, Jody, who's probably watching this video. He loves Mr. Do. So this one plays a lot like the arcade game, and I think it's really well done by Coleco playing on the Atari 2600. All right, so the last Atari game that I ended up purchasing for the day was Defender 2. This is the red label. I collect the red labels. I actually own this ROM already as Stargate, but finding Defender 2, I was pretty happy to see it because this is the first time I'd seen it. I ended up getting this one for $14.99. So, yeah, another game that is in excellent condition. All right, so Defender, the original Defender that came out in Atari 2600 was a huge hit. It had a few issues such as flickering, like when you shoot, your ship would kind of turn invisible, you wouldn't see it. But this game was done a lot better, but it was, like I said, a late release. It plays really well on the Atari 2600. There's no flickering like there is on the original Defender. The sounds are great on this one. I've played this one like I said, because I had Stargate before, so it's kind of nice just to get the red label version of this one. But yeah, this is a fun translation of the arcade game, and the graphics are good on it, and as you can see here, it plays pretty close to the arcade, I would say, especially being on the Atari 2600. And then so the last game I ended up picking up at Disc Replay was an actual Nintendo NES game, the original Popeye. All right, so Popeye on the NES is a great translation of the arcade game. I also own this for the Atari 2600, but this one obviously has a lot better graphics. Nothing taken away from the Atari 2600 version. It actually plays pretty well. This version looks and sounds pretty much like the arcade version. You got to get the hearts that Olive Oil's throwing down and try to avoid Brutus. You can hit them with, if you get your can of spinach, you can get them that way, or just like that, you can hit them, catch them in a barrel and get bonus points that way. This game also has all 3 levels from the arcade, which is awesome, and they all look and sound and play just like the arcade. So this was a great pickup for me, adding to my collection. All right, guys, so that's the games I ended up getting at Disc Replay today. Filled a lot of holes on the Atari 2600, and also finding Popeye for the NES. Thought it was a pretty good day overall. So, guys, thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, I'll talk to everyone later.